Welcome everyone to episode number 183 of Pro NoCoders Office Hours. I am your host, Tonya. I'm here with member Ben. Hi, Ben. How are you?
Hey.
Hey. So we're recording this after the fact, actually, and it's a little bit different. We're going to start doing this a little more often. We've decided our streaming service, when we actually live stream the live office hours, isn't as good as it could be if we just recorded it and then streamed it later afterwards. So what we're doing is we're recording now and then we will stream it live later. So you won't be able to ask questions in real time like you usually can. But hopefully the quality outweighs that. So yeah, and we'll still do these 6 days or 6 times per week. So let's get started. Today, I'm excited. We had a question in one of the Facebook groups. Someone was just basically saying they needed an up-to-date tutorial on doing Google OAuth for their app because the Google Developer Console has changed so much since the last tutorials were made. So I thought, that's a good way to kill some time. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And Ben's going to keep me company, keep me engaged. And yeah, we're going to go all the way from the beginning though. Like to the point where I'm actually going to click this button now and we're going to create a new app from scratch. So.
P.S. I love that you said kill some time when this is pretty much an essential function for every app that you ever do.
Well, yes.
Kill some time.
Yeah, you have to have them log in. So we'll just call this OAuth. It's the OAuth app. Let's see here. What are we doing? We're just doing.
I can't believe OAuth isn't taken.
Internal. Start from template. Do I want to start from a template? No, I think not. Okay. Here we go. Start with a blank page and close the assistant. There we go. Okay, so we have an index page. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the index page. You don't have to. You can put it on another page if you want. A lot of times I'll use the index page as sort of a switchboard, so there won't be anything on it. It'll only have workflows. And then I redirect people back to the index to send them to where they need to be in the app. But this is going to be a very simple app. We're just basically going to need a button. And this will be login with Google. And then on the conditional, I'm just going to say when current user is logged in, then I'm going to change the text to be log out. Now, in order to get this to work, I'm going to need to have a plugin. So I'm going to go to my plugins page and I'm going to say Google. And then in case you're wanting to see the way we're going to tackle this, we're getting the button done here and then the plugin. And then we'll have to add some pages. Then we're going to go and grab a domain from GoDaddy and start a project on Google Developer Console. We'll set up our OAuth screen and our credentials. So, Bubble, you drive me crazy. Like, I don't understand why that happens, but.
Okay. If I had a Christmas list for Bubble, I think it would be, can you fix the plugins page, please?
Didn't they just ask that? I think that's like a Facebook post they just posted today.
It's on Twitter. It just came up in my feed. Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. They're like, please, what's on your Bubble wish list? They're like, the responsive engine was a nice early present. What else would you like? So we're going to do this one. This is the Bubble Google OAuth. And it doesn't say OAuth, but that's what it is. It lets users log in to your Bubble app using their Gmail account. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. No reason to reinvent the wheel here. So you'll notice that Google is asking for the app secret and the app ID here. So we need to go in and get those things. But the first thing we need to do in the app before we can even do that is we need to add a privacy page. And a terms of service page. That is pure experience on my part. Having just been through this in the last, I don't know, 4 or 6 weeks, I just know they're going to ask for links to those pages. So let's see, on our list here, so we've got the page, plugin, privacy, terms of service. Now let's go grab our domain. Which domain should we go after, Ben?
Are you just gonna pick one, are you?
Yeah. Something fun.
I don't know. I feel I'm on the spot.
Sorry. We'll say, let's see. PNC office hours?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I don't know.
Isn't PNC like a school term in the States? Like, don't you have like a PNC, which is like a parents and something?
Oh, PTA. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Probably I should go with something cheaper than that. Like this, PNC office hours live.
There you go.
There we go. And that's the card. Oh, geez. 39 down to 199? Really? No.
Score. Buy them all.
Huh? What was that?
You know those people that just buy up domain names?
Yeah, but I don't want to buy one that's going to renew at 39. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather one that's going to like renew at $19.99 and then they'll give me $5 off or something. PNC hours. We'll just go with office hours. Let's get it. I have so many domain names. Looks like
I just seem to renew them even if I don't use them, just to keep them.
Well, I'm buying one now because I did this like inventory not that long ago and realized I didn't have any to play around with. So I'm just, no thanks. Okay. Take my money. Cool. Okay, so now we have pncofficehours.com. So now I have to point it at my Bubble app. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I've got to upgrade my app, and I'm on an agency plan, so I can do that, and it will allow me to connect it to the domain and everything. If you're not on an agency plan, then you'll need to upgrade to one of the paid plans for the app itself in order for this to work, because I know this because Google will not accept a subdomain. It won't take the subdomain that you get from Bubble. It won't accept it. So you have to upgrade it. Then I'm going to go to domain here, and I'm just going to put pncofficehours.com and click set up this domain. And Bubble's going to tell me, oh, you need to use your own Google API key to render maps. I don't have any, so I'm just going to enter one for now. And that's fine. I can show you as part of this how to get those keys as well. So now Bubble's telling me that I need to update some A records for my domain. in order to point them at Bubble. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go to here, my products. And I don't know why GoDaddy like has 10 different ways that you can get to your apps, but like, or your domain names, but you can't do the same thing from every which way. So this is the way that I know works. Where's my PNC? There it is. Okay. All right, so I'm going to delete this one. So I'm deleting the 1A record that they gave me, which is the parked one. Just going to delete that. Then I'm going to delete the C name with the www here. All right, and now I'm going to add 4 records. They're all going to be A records. This will be at. Oh, they changed it. They're not keeping the same one anymore. That's fine. We can copy and paste it from here. I don't know, 360, something like that. I don't care. Okay, so we'll go with this. So this is the first one. Now I'm going to do another one that's just like it. It's just this, I think it's going to change to a 1. So I'll add this record. All right, and then I'm going to add another one. It'll be another record with at where the name is, and then just go and double check here that we want 24193. So we'll just change this to a 1. We'll do custom 600 and add that record. 2 more. This one is also going to be an A, but this one will be www, and we'll use the original value. And we can do the same here, I think. And last one. Change that to a 1. Okay, and that's all we should have to do to point the pncofficehours.com domain to Bubble. So in a little bit, it should show us our page, and our index page right now should have a button on it, right? So if we go to pncofficehours.com version test, because I haven't deployed it. Yep, the DNS it's still propagating. So we'll let it do that while we do the rest.
How long does that normally take?
Just a few minutes normally. Not long.
And another question, while you're in between sections,
sure.
Is Pro NoCoders still on sale?
What? Is Pro NoCoders on sale?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the office hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're raising our prices January 1st. So right now you can come on into office hours and ask your Bubble questions for just $99 per month. That gets you these sessions 6 times per week for just $99 per month. And then on January 1st, the price is going up to $119. So get in while you can lock that low price in. Thank you.
Let's get $4 million a month worth of content.
That's Ben's valuation.
Oh.
That's awesome. I like that.
It's not far off.
It's not far off. That's sweet. Okay, so now the next thing. So we've done this part. We got our domain and pointed it at our Bubble app. Now we need to go to Google Developer Console and add a project. So I'm just gonna, I always Google this instead of remembering that I can just go to console.developers, but it works. So click in here, and you're going to notice something when I pop in here. I'm logged in already with my normal like Gmail account, and I already have projects, so it's already going to default one. And so it's defaulting this to this November sandbox one. I think you're allowed like 100 of them. So I'm just going to come in here, the very first thing, and just click to add a new project. And we'll call it PNC Office Hours. I'm going to go ahead and create. Boom, that easy. Now I have to switch to it though, because you create it and it doesn't automatically switch you to that project. So now I click here and I can click into that project. Super simple. So I'm going to go ahead while this is working itself out. I'm going to go ahead and start in on the OAuth consent screen. That's the next piece that we have to have in place. So the OAuth consent screen is what you see whenever you click login with Google, and it shows you like all of the Google accounts that you're already partly logged into that you can choose from. So we're just configuring this so it'll be accurate. So the user type in this, we'll do external. Yep.
So can it, with the Google Cloud, can it be just a free Gmail account, or do you need to sign up for something?
Yep, it can just be a free
account. Cool.
Yep. So PNC Office Hours will be my app name. My support email will be my Gmail account. I don't currently have an app logo, but I like to do this just for demonstration purposes. So let's go ahead and find one. I don't like that. Where am I? Pro NoCoders. Really? This is not our actual logo, so I'll just use it anyway. But it was in contention at one point. Okay, and so the app domain, here we go. We're going to go HTTPS, and it'll be pncofficehours.com. And then we're going to have the same hours.com. And then this will be privacy. That was that page that I made before. And here. It doesn't want this. Okay. And then this can stay my 5 measures at gmail.com. And that should work. So the next piece of this is asking for the scopes. So what the scope is whenever you are OAuthing someone in, they are giving you very specific permission to do specific things with their login that you're going to have access to. In this case, we don't need anything super intense because we're just having them we're essentially using their OAuth in place of them using their own email in the login process on our app. So we're going to add a scope, and the only one I think we need is this one here, the user info email. I don't think we need anything else. So I'm just going to update, and that's it. We don't need any sensitive or restricted ones, so we can save and continue. Okay, and then we're going to add some test users here. I'll add a couple of my different Gmails. So .com, and then add
Is there any scenario with someone building an application that you wouldn't include this? Like somewhere where you'd be like, oh, you shouldn't have Google OAuth or Facebook OAuth or anything?
No, not really. I think
No?
that, I mean, every time that I see Google or Facebook OAuth offered, I take it, and then I try. I can't say that I'm super consistent about it, but I try to think. I think if it's like something personal, I use Facebook, and if it's something professional, I use Google.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but not even like my Google Workspace emails. These are like my two personal Gmails. So so now we can save and continue. So I'll be able to test with these. Did you want to add any? Did you want to add one here or no? Let's see. Maybe a third one. Do you have any throwaway Gmail addresses or no?
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat real quick so you can just copy paste.
Oh, well, do you care if it's recorded on the screen?
No, people can send me a hate mail with that one.
Okay, cool. I'm like, just making sure, because I'd like, for me, these are blown. I get so much mail to those, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, all right, so I'm going to save and continue. Ineligible accounts not added. Okay, that's fine. So I have two of them that are added then. Looks like they added it. Oh well. Okay, so then, yeah, this is the summary of what we just did. What we essentially did is we gave them all of the information that they need to show that screen when the person is selecting which Google account they want to use to log into our Bubble app. So now I'm just going to go back over here and press refresh. And it's working. Oh, you know what? There's a bug. I need to go here. I just have to load this page because I added the agency, and if you don't load this page, it will keep giving you this thing over and over again. I should probably take the time to report that to Bubble.
When was the last time you reported something? I remember you found this massive bug and you're like, someone else will do it.
Somebody else will do it. I mean, I could go look and see. It's probably been, I don't know, a month or two since I last did it.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like, you know,
I did like four or five within 6 weeks of each other.
That would have been a really frustrating 6 weeks for you.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Especially since, and I get a little frustrated, and always having managed a software company, I get always frustrated with developers who are like, well, if I can't reproduce your issue, there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, oh, but it's an issue. I'm telling you, I promise it's an issue, but I can't recreate it, so I don't know how to fix it. I'm like, I get the logic of that, but I also am like super frustrated. So sometimes that happens. So, okay.
I guess that kind of ties in with not suffering alone, right?
Exactly. It does a lot. Okay, so now the next piece of this puzzle is we have the OAuth consent screen. The last piece of this puzzle, actually, I mean, it's not entirely the last. Do the workflows is the last. We need credentials. So we need to get the API key and the secret done here. You don't do that from the OAuth consent screen part. We're done with that. We just need to go into the credentials part. And there's 3 sections, and it's the second section here that we're most interested in. So we're going to go ahead and create credentials, and we want to create the OAuth client ID. So application type, it's a web application. the domains of the URIs you add below will automatically be added to your OAuth consent screen as authorized domains. So I'm going to add a URI here. Oh, wait, I don't think I need that one. I think I need this one. Authorized redirect URIs. So let's say here, no, not Pro NoCoders, pncofficehours.com. And then trying to remember if I actually have to specify it, but I think that should be fine. So we'll go ahead and create that. And now it's giving me the OAuth client. So this is that client ID that I need and the secret ID. And I'm not worried about you seeing this because I'll just delete them after. So I'm going to copy this. And that's my client ID. I'm going to go back into my plugins and I want my client ID, this one. And clearly it did not copy. I thought it said it copied. Copy. And the app ID. Nope. I'm going to have to yell at Google. See, even Google has bugs. Let's go in here. There we go. And I've just gotten in the habit here of making sure there's never any spaces at the front or end of my keys. I've learned the hard way that that can be a problem. And then I'll just copy this and paste here. Then I'm just going to check this box here using a generic redirect. And I think I actually need to type this out. So I'll come back here and say OK. Then come in here to edit. And then I'll add and then what's the rest of it? It says API 1.1 OAuth redirect. Let's see if I can remember that. API 1.1 OAuth redirect, like that. And save. Okay, so now I have this piece of the puzzle done. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need right now, except for our workflows. So now I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to put a couple of workflows on this button here. The first one is going to be account, sign up, login with the social network. We're going to select Google, and that's all we should have to do for that one. And then we want to do this only when the current user is logged out. And then we can copy and paste and say when the user is logged in, what we want this button to do is log out the user. This is just for testing purposes. So now we can try. I'm in the terms and not in the, yeah. See?
Hey.
Hey. So I'm
really ready for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, when it works.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to click this one, and it's going to say, okay, and now I'm logged in. And nice. We can go and we can look. I didn't have any users before, and now I have a user with that email.
What data can you bring in with that? Is it just the email, or can you bring in, username and all sorts of stuff?
That's a really good question. That has to do with this consent screen, okay. Specifically with the scopes, this section here. Right. So if I save and continue and I come here, I can add scopes that I'm trying to get, right? So if I log out, which is why I did that, so we'll just come in here. I'm going to delete this so I can do it again. So click log out. It doesn't like me because I deleted the user before I logged out. Yep. And I click here. It says choose an account to continue to this domain. And then at the bottom, it says Google will share your name and email address, language preference, and profile picture. So that's all that I'm asking for permission for right now. But if I come back in here and I say, actually, I want this, and I can do any one of these 25. Let's see what else like that. So when I click update here, I have a sensitive scope now. I don't have a restricted scope, but I do have a sensitive scope, and I have an additional non-sensitive scope. So I click save and continue, and save and continue. Go here. Now, if I click to log in with Google, I don't know that that worked. It's supposed to tell you all of the things that you're giving it permission to do. So let me know if you have to. Let's go back to dashboard. Let me go back in here and preview. It's so funny. It's on the index and I click preview and it's taking me to the terms. That's a bug.
Bug.
Bug. So I'm going to log in with Google. Nope, it's still not showing me all the things that it wants to do. I wonder if I have to get new credentials since I updated them. Let's toss these and get new ones. All right. Did it again. Go to profile, you can review. Yeah, so I think they're supposed to tell you more about what it is that you're allowing them to do. So maybe I haven't done that right. Because if I go into the scopes, no, it saved it.
I guess if they're new users, you'd send them to like a sign up page anyway, wouldn't you, with like gathering all the details you needed?
Yeah, probably.
And if they're logging in, then they've probably filled all that information out already.
Yeah, probably at the point that you're using it, they probably re-verify that the person is okay with giving you that permission.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this is where you would set that OAuth to get that information, and then you'd have to send them in the, oh, maybe you know what? I bet you it's in the credential itself, because I bet you there's here, this means, oh, is here. No. Oh, you know what it is it's not the OAuth that you need for that, it's the API key that has the scope attached to it. So the OAuth just needs the email, right? But the API key that you're going to need in order to get into anything else, like the maps and stuff like that, you would have to set it there. So let's just do that. Let's create an API key. So we have a new one that's made, and then let's restrict it. And then here, I'm going to restrict the key. I'm going to select the APIs. The other thing I have to do when I do that is I have to add the API to the project itself, right? So these are the ones that are already added based on guessing on the OAuth stuff that we did. But if I go back to the dashboard, I'll have this enable APIs and services. And I can do maps. And it will say, which ones do you want? Like all of the ones here. So I want, what are the ones that I have here in the settings they want? They want a geocode and Google Map API key. So I'm going to get a geocode API and I'll enable that. And then let's go back to, and we'll also enable the map one. I don't know if it's a JavaScript one or not. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Probably this one. I think you can do like a whole suite of them at the same time. Then the other thing that you need to be aware of when you're enabling these API keys for geocoding and maps is that they're not free to use entirely. So you're going to have to put a payment method on file, and they'll give you some sort of crazy credit to start with, like $300 worth. And then every month, I think you get like some nuts amount of free calls, like 40,000 or something. But at some point, they do start charging you. So if you find like something's not working, a lot of times we'll set clients up and they'll have the free amount, the credit or whatever, and then they'll come back and they'll say, why did my maps all of a sudden stop working? And it's just they have to go in and add a payment method is all. So now we have those, so we can come back to the credentials. I have this API key that I can come into. Pardon my cough. I can click to restrict the API keys, and you see I have the maps now where I didn't have it before. And do I have geocoding? Yeah, geocoding.
What does restricting do?
So this means that this key will only be able to be used with these APIs.
Right,
and
so
that's
you recommend restricting them then, obviously.
I do recommend that. I also haven't played around with this very much, but it seems like it would be a good idea to just say The only referrer that it can come from is pncofficehours.com, because I don't want somebody to steal my key and be able to use my credit card on file for their calls. Since it does cost money, people will do that. So that's why. Let's see, office hours. So there we go. So I'm going to save that. And now I can use that same key in both places. So I can see if that works. It says it worked. I can come back in here. I can say, now it has 2 API keys that should be working in order to like be able to do addresses, like geo addresses in Bubble. So yeah, so that's, let's see, this is working now. Awesome. What do you think? Any other questions, Ben?
No, I mean, that's really, I mean, it's good to watch this because I think it's more straightforward than people think it is. Like, I thought it would have been more difficult than what you just did.
It feels a lot more overwhelming when you're first starting out. I kind of flew through it, but I struggled a little bit with it not that long ago, like a month ago. I was taking Thomas and Brittany through it. And so I was like, and things they change a little bit. So you're just trying to like understand, but I got through it then because I had gotten through it before. And then this time was easy because it hasn't been that long and not much has changed. So it can certainly feel overwhelming, especially when you don't know what all of these things are and what they're asking for. So.
And I guess just keeping an eye on the Google terms of service when you get them is probably a good idea to see if something changes.
Yep, for sure. Yep. Well, I think that's it for this episode of Office Hours. We are going to be back this evening at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for our second Office Hours session of the day. And hopefully, if you're watching this, even though it's not going to be broadcast before then, yeah, we do these 6 times per week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and Mondays we have an extra session at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. If you can make one of those times on a regular basis, go sign up at ProNoCoders.com before the price goes up, because it's $99 per month right now, but it's going to $119 on the 1st of January. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.